This is the Rebel Scum Podcast. Available in video on YouTube and audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Every week, Brock and James talk the latest rumors, news, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. Support us on Patreon for exclusive offers and join the Star Wars discussion. Patreon.com/RebelScumPodcast. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
You're always scum. Rebel scum.
Rebel Scum! This is the Rebel Scum Podcast. My name is Brock. This is
James.
And we are the Rebel Scum Podcast, where we talk about Star Wars and Star Wars accessories, propane and propane accessories.
Yep.
Just two buddies like in Star Wars, and we talk about Star Wars on a weekly basis. But
Han
today,
and Leia coming at you.
Oh, I knew it was you. I don't know. Anyways, today is Star Wars Podcast Day 2025. James, are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. You know what? I didn't tell you this, but I am a guest on another Star Wars podcast today.
Oh.
On the very first Star Wars and Smile, a Camray Semi podcast. Camray, who's been on our show before, started his own podcast, and I am the first guest on this podcast. And it's like there's more to it than just me. I'm like a portion of it. I don't know what else is in store, but after this, go check that out because I think because he's also like a musician, like he's very talented. So I think he's got a lot of fun little bits going on over there. And yeah, he asked me my Star Wars story and cuts me off quite a bit. So,
his show's called Star Wars Smile and a Smile. Smile and a
Star Wars and Smile. Yeah, I'm on the portion of the show called Star Wars Mansplained.
Oh,
no, that's exactly it was tough keeping a straight face, but it was fun. So anyway, after this, go check that out.
Like 1,000 wives rolling their eyes all of a sudden, and we're suddenly silenced by, ugh.
Oh, I'm not the one mansplaining. Just so you know.
No, it doesn't matter.
I couldn't if I. By the way, we're coming up on the like 8-year anniversary of me learning what the word mansplaining meant when you said it to Aaron at Star Wars Celebration Orlando. I had no idea. I had never heard it in my life. And you're like, oh, I just mansplained. I was like, what is this? And I sat and I was educated. And then you mansplained what mansplaining was to me. It was fantastic.
Oh my God.
We were in the parking lot. I think you were doing like a little bit and you said something to Aaron. You're like, oh, I just mansplained. And I was confused. I was very confused over everything. Like I just found out what gaslighting meant last week, so we're good.
So many anniversaries, because today is the anniversary of the very first Star Wars podcast called Jedi Talk. Came out 1999. It's been a while since I've said 19 at the beginning of a year. February 7th. So
yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't expect to do math. Almost 30 years. 26 years. Yeah, there you go. I just round up. It's the new math. So yeah, check that out. Star Wars Podcast Day. So put in the hashtag is SWPD 2025 and check out all the other shows because
there's a lot.
You're gonna get tired of us quick. Oh man.
Very quick. And on Sunday is my wedding anniversary, Brock. So I'm expecting a bouquet of flowers from you to come by as per usual. Brock usually sends me a bouquet of flowers.
You think I would remember that because we were there like after the wedding, like we were there on the resort for like a week, and like the last day was Valentine's Day, so I should remember that in my mind.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then Valentine's Day is coming up. Jeez,
yeah, that's right.
It's a busy time. By the way, Star Wars Podcast Day going to be over 30. There are over 30 Star Wars podcasts participating.
Whoa.
Yeah, and we are part of it, as you can see on the screen right here.
These are what your Patreon dollars pay for.
Look at this, and now my hand is gone. I'm like Luke Skywalker. It's exciting. There's nothing to talk about, Brock. Star Wars is dead.
Day 21 of the second drought, or the first drought of 2025.
Or in like 70 days, 72 days.
Yeah.
By the way, like when you like April, I'm like, okay, April's coming up, and then you're like 70 something days. I'm like, that sounds like it's very far away. That's like a quarter of a year almost. I'm like, that is a long time away. I don't know how the math works when April is 2 months away.
Yeah.
When is it coming? How is it 70? No. That doesn't make sense. There's 30 days in. Oh, it must be the end of April. Oh, yeah, April 20th, I guess. And Easter? Does it come out Easter Sunday? They would do that too. That's what they would. They're not going to do. It's going to be a Wednesday. But they're going to totally put it out on Easter just to piss us off because I couldn't watch on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve Skeleton Crew. And now Star Wars is dead.
Yeah, dead.
Well, Variety did the article.
Again, like Easter.
Like you're making this very religious. Very, very religious. But I did when I was trying to figure out what to talk about on the show because you're like, let's talk about Transformers. I was like, that's weird. So I Googled Star Wars as I normally do.
Nice.
I put all my faith in Google, and as I think I'm pretty confident most of the world does. I mean, I don't know if you saw this, but the word tariff was Googled 2,400% more than ever before. Everyone Googles, but I Googled Star Wars, not tariff Star Wars, and an article came out from Variety, and I didn't read it because I didn't care, but the headline said Star Wars fatigue. And then also everybody is kind of sharing online now how Disney Plus has lost like 700,000 subscribers in Q1 or something. I haven't, but so I'm just thinking, I thought, there's something to talk about Star Wars fatigue because we've kind of talked about it in the past. And now I think with the Acolyte numbers, with the Skeleton Crew numbers, Andor, I don't think Andor is going to be a massive. I think it's going to be very good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's going to be a massive hit because I don't think season 1 was either. Yeah. I'm thinking. I think there is Star Wars fatigue, but I think, and I don't know how you feel, but I think it's very similar to superhero fatigue, in that, yeah, people are tired of it. People are kind of sick of it, but if Skeleton Crew is really good, which I believe it was, and I think Fantastic Four is going to be really good. Like, they might not be, the big successes that were before them, before the fatigue set in, but they will help get people back on. And then the one after, like Thunderbolts or Andor or like Mando, like those ones will and if those ones are good, like they've just got to continue to be good. And I think that's how you get out of it. So I think fatigue, I do think fatigue's real. But I think it's also, we've enjoyed a lot of it, but a lot of people haven't enjoyed all the Star Wars stuff on Disney Plus, and they feel like its quality's kind of gone down. And I think you see that with Mando and especially Obi-Wan. When they do overuse the volume at times, I think the running is really what gets me the most. It's like you can't run in front of them. They haven't figured that out yet. So I just feel like, yeah, I think it's real, but I also think it's easy. It's easy to get out of it.
Yeah. It's funny that we mentioned this because my colleague at work was we were just talking. He's like, "Oh, what are you watching right now?" And I was saying this and that and whatever. He's like, "Oh, I hope to watch Skeleton Crew soon." And I'm like, "Oh, sick! Yeah, I really liked it." And he's like, "Oh, maybe I'll wait till inventory at work, like where we take all the pieces of equipment out and make sure we actually have what our system says." He's like, "Last year I watched all of the Ahsoka during inventory while you were in the aisles of the warehouse. It's like, maybe I'll wait till then for Skeleton." I'm like, Skeleton Crew. I'm like, that's in August.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, maybe that's kind of relevant to this. It's sort of like, it's like, how does streaming work exactly? And I think we've asked this question several times, but like, it's not like with watching something on HBO where like you kind of, maybe it is. I don't know. It's just like people like, it's just, you can't even tell if it's a hit anymore because it's just like people are like, "Oh, I'll watch it later." It's like, I know there is metrics of some sort. They're keeping tabs on how many times things get streamed. Like wrestle. Uh, Royal Rumble was last Saturday on Netflix because Netflix now has WWE, Raw, and SmackDown, and most of the events since January. So it's like I think there was like a decent amount of like they can track it. I think like what there was I know last episode they said something about like something from Royal Rumble that they put on social media got like the highest clicks or whatever. So it's like there is a way to manage it, but it's just like it doesn't even matter because it's like if most people are like, "Oh, I'll watch it when I watch it." It's like, well, it's not even a matter of like you like it or not. It's just like people putting in the time. So it's like those people at Disney Plus and Netflix and Prime and whatever, they're like, "Oh, well, our numbers aren't bonkers." It's like, and I'm sure it does occur that people do like certain shows, but like it doesn't make any sense anymore. Like,
Well, it's not. I think there's no like must see TV almost
yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
Like there's no need to, and also there's a lot at fault for that.
yeah,
Lives are, we can all say our lives are busier, but sure. But like there's a lot at fault, a lot to play, and it's just not like, I mean, I think you're right though, HBO kind of has it still,
yeah,
where Sunday, 9 o'clock, whatever it is, that's whatever the hell they have on Sunday at 9 o'clock you're watching. Like that just seems to be, they're kind of like, it's crazy. Like they've got that, and Netflix has whatever we put on you're gonna watch.
yeah, yeah.
But like there is like, but and Netflix kind of ruined it, or was the leader in ruining it, I should say,
Mhm.
in that because they just drop it, and they drop it whenever the hell they drop. Like, do you know what time Netflix drops their stuff? Is it midnight? Is it like, I don't know. Does anyone know? They just are like, one day you're like, oh, that's on Netflix today, and it's
Mhm.
just there. I don't even think they know. They just do it. That's kind of the thing. You're like, okay, whatever. And then they created like the binge watching now, which I think DVDs were kind of leading into that anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
and and then and also, before that, if you remember, you might not remember. Most people will. Most people probably won't. But if you wanted to watch Seinfeld in 2010, it
Yeah.
was on every channel, every hour of the day, so you could watch that. Like, so it's kind of the same. But for some reason, the new stuff is, and TV is obviously, I think, gotten a lot. I mean, it's not even TV; it's stream, whatever. But
Yeah.
it's the quality is really high nowadays. And for some reason, we just don't want to sit and watch it at 9 o'clock. We want to watch it whenever we feel like, which takes away from, like, we brought this up with Stranger Things before, right? Because we both like Stranger Things. You usually watch it right away, and I usually watch it whenever I do. And, but then you're like, oh, I just watched these episodes. I'm like, I haven't got, so we can't even talk about it.
Yeah.
And then by the time I watch it, you're like, oh, I'm watching, show X now. I've moved on. I don't,
Yeah.
it's almost like that part of it is kind of lost.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate, but that was a lot of, like, HBO's got that, and I think Disney and Prime want that, but
Mhm.
they're just not, like, did anyone talk about Lord of the Rings season 2? Did anybody talk about it?
Not really. I actually heard someone say something. It's like it's good, and then it falls off. I'm like, oh yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't
like,
finish watching it either.
it wasn't like, I never watched Game of Thrones, but you could not escape Game of Thrones talk,
Yeah.
no matter what, right? People are like, oh my god, you see it. But yeah, this is just, they're just not like Disney and Prime are not doing that, and Netflix is like its own thing. It's
Yeah.
its own, like, I wouldn't. It just is what it is. So I don't know. They're not. I think, honestly, I know they don't want to, but I think they need to look at maybe dropping them all at once. Like you said, the Spider-Man cartoon is weird. Like they're
Yeah.
dropping like 3 of them and then 4, and
Yeah.
then like, that doesn't even make sense. But like, I feel like Andor, they should drop 3 again at least. Like, give us that first arc right away.
It's interesting because, like, yeah, this week Spider-Man dropped three episodes, and I've only watched a bit of the first one, and it looks like there seems to be a story arc because it's like Peter does this, and then this other character does this. So that's kind of interesting. I'm looking forward to finishing that and seeing where that goes. Because I'm on the fence about it because I think I said with Star Wars especially, it's like if you need 3 episodes to explain what's going on, maybe you have to revisit your story because it's just like 1 episode should be enough.
But okay, and if you need the 3 episodes, why not just make 1 hour and a half long episode?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Like those 3 episodes of Andor should have been. I don't know what. Maybe
Yeah.
they shouldn't have been, but
it works. Like I do like the idea of like this is a story arc here.
Yeah.
It all will kind of connect, but here's a chapter, here's a chapter, here's a chapter. It's not bad, but they're doing way too much.
Netflix has conditioned us to binge watch things like that. Though that's just how like.
Yeah.
I like weekly because I do not like binge watching, but
Yeah.
I am in the minority. Like I'm alone on an island in that thinking. I think like I just like I watched them the other day and then Aaron's like, let's watch another one. I'm like, I think I'm gonna go take the dog for a walk. And I was like, I just can't do it. I could do 2 episodes. I think 2 episodes is like my max. And Star Wars I could do an entire season. Don't get me wrong, but I think well, I mean. I don't know. I just we're conditioned now to want to. We've talked about this so much, but just the fatigue. I feel like if they would have dropped Skeleton Crew all at once, I think it would have been more successful quicker because I think people would have watched and be like, "Oh, that was good." Told people, "Okay, I don't have to wait now. I'll watch it." And then like your friend who's like, "I'm going to wait till August." Maybe they're a little bit quicker because now instead of it being February saying that, they're saying that in early December, right? And I don't know. I think they got to rethink their strategy on dropping these shows.
I think, like Skeleton Crew would be a good example of something you could crush in a weekend. Like just if you're like, I'm home to Saturday and Sunday doing nothing, I'm just gonna watch it over the course of the day.
Rob did that.
Yeah, it's very strange because it's like, yes, we can point at like, oh, too much Marvel, too much Star Wars. Maybe too much Game of Thrones because I don't think House of the Dragon did very well in the second season either, right? It's not as memeable. I think it's like it definitely hinges on how memeable you are. You know what I mean? Like we're in a world where like Hawk Tua is still like successful.
She's gone.
Well, she's gone. But you know what I mean?
She
like,
did that crypto thing or whatever, or the bank thing.
But
I know what she did.
That 15 minutes was longer than 15
stretched
minutes.
out.
It's like what? Like
unbelievable.
Like she is a cultural touchstone for 2024. That's crazy. Anyways, but then like just thinking about TV shows, it's like, do you like weekly or it's like, do you want to be like watch it or have it all at once? It's like you have a show like Fallout. Nobody was chomping at the bit for that. I play the game. I love the game. And I'm sure there's many people like me that are like, yes, I will watch this. But like it's a out of left field show. It's very, very goofy. It does a great job of explaining it, but it's like it's a video game property and it's a little violent and it's funny and it's quirky. And it was a huge success. I watched that and I haven't binge watched.
They dropped that all at once, right?
Yeah, all at once. I watched it probably, like I said, in a weekend, maybe 24 hours, 48 hours span, whatever.
And that was, I think, Amazon's number 2 show. But it was a binge show.
Yeah, but it's just weird.
I know they want you weekly, but
unlike the same kind of idea, you get a movie like Borderlands, which is based on a video game property, is violent and quirky and funny. Crickets. Now again, TV show, movie, whatever, but like. They're basically the same thing.
Yeah, but Borderlands, I didn't see it, obviously, but it got crushed critically. And, like, I don't want to make this about it, but, like, the filmmaking team behind Borderlands versus the filmmaking team behind Fallout, it's like...
But honestly, both are very enjoyable. I watched it, like, I didn't see it in theaters, which is obviously, like, what cripples the success of that. But they're honestly... the same freaking thing. It's just Fallout is longer because it's 10 episodes or whatever. Like, and
people like TV though. They
like Kevin Hart. What's her name?
Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett. Who's the girl from Halloween? The woman. I'm really
Jamie
bad
Lee
at
Curtis.
remembering. Jamie Lee Curtis. Jack Black.
But he wasn't really marketed in it though.
No, not really. But like, it's just like all those names are like golden tickets. But it's just like, who can understand why things are successful? Like maybe critics or whatever, and maybe people that are like, "Oh, I heard it's garbage." It's like, oh, well, like if you go in with that, then they're like, "Well, you're never gonna see anything new because it's not a terrible movie."
But have you look? This is, and I get mad at our friend Daryl all the time to throw him under the bus. But that's how people are nowadays. Whoa, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't like it. I'm not gonna go watch it. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Honestly, man, like you can't like judge it on yourself. Like it pisses. I hate it. It was like, well, I went IMDb, got 6 out of 10. So some guy living in his mom's basement gave it 6 out of 10 because they don't show boobies. Like, come on, man. Like, look at it for yourself and judge it on your own. That being said, I don't like. It drives me nuts when people are like, I looked at the critics score. Who cares? They're not even like critics aren't even critics anymore. There used to be like Siskel and Ebert who like they studied film and knew everything about it, and then they would tell you like, and you're like, okay. But now it's just like, no, I went to go see the movie, and I really. It's like, well, who are you? What are you? I'm cool, Transformer behind you, dude. But I don't like why. Why do you like? They don't. Anyway, it drives me nuts when people are like, when people do that. Well, the critics said it wasn't very good. Yeah, but did you? I like the trailer a lot, but I'm not going to see it because the critics score.
Yeah,
look at it. Just watch it for yourself. Annoys me.
I tried to explain Rotten Tomatoes to my wife, Em, and she's like, Brock, I don't care about any of this. I'm like, that's a very good point.
That's good.
She's like, you don't understand. If they get high 90s and on both sides, they're certified fresh. She's like, Brock, that means nothing. I'm like, that's true.
I have my Sheldon who make movies with. He won't watch anything that's under 80 on Rotten Tomatoes. So I will send him a movie that gets lower, and I'll be like, this should be 80, and it's usually like Can't Hardly Wait, and I'll usually send him like, he's like, what is it? I'm like, it doesn't matter what it is. It should be 80. I'm like, do you know how many movies I've bought on because when you have an iTunes movie, it tells you the Rotten Tomatoes score on the digital. I think they mostly do, but it tells you. I have a few of them that are like 7%. And I'm like, this is a great movie. And I will recommend some of them to people, and they're like, that was good. I'm like, yeah. And you know what? Rotten Tomatoes for old movies is BS also. I just want to say that because there was no Rotten Tomatoes in the 90s. So they're just aggregating bullcrap scores to like have, like, it's like, I don't, like, I saw people complain. By the way, The Wizard of Oz is on Crave, Brock, and it is still phenomenal. still phenomenal. But like, I saw someone complain about like the Glinda balloon that comes, like, you know, when she's in that bubble at the beginning, and they're complaining that the special effects weren't very good. This is 1939. I'm like still blown away. Every time the witch goes up in flames, I'm like, it's 1939. How did they do that?
They were painted with lead paint. People died in that movie because of that movie. Like,
I know.
Well, we also live in a world. I heard this recently that like Gen Alpha is discovering Creed the band because it's like they're using their music in memes. So it's like, what is this? It's like it's very odd. Like I think I said it before. It's like if your movie or TV show is not memeable, people aren't gonna like that. Is the new review if people are like using it in pop culture references.
Music is all about TikTok. You have to be big on TikTok, and then your song's a hit, and that's how it is. So, it's like, I was listening to the radio, like an old person, a few months ago, and they're like, "Here's a TikTok top 40." I'm like, "What the? Where are we right now?" TikTok top 4. So I took all notes and I use them on my videos, and it's just like you have to be big on, and the prequels crushed it with the memes. Crushed it. More than anything else, they crushed. Like the original trilogy is old enough to stand on its own. Prequels had the memes. The sequels hit anything like that?
You're also talking about movies that made like almost $1 billion, right? It's like, or did they? I can't remember where the box office stands on some of those movies.
Yeah, they all did really well, but
Yeah, that's yeah. You know,
anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the shows need to hit something like that though.
Yeah. It's you have a successful movie or TV show, and then anything that comes out after it, be it in like a series or just like this is the guy that made that movie. That whole like Hollywood is all based on like you did good once, we'll give you more money if you do it
Yeah.
again. So it's just like Game of Thrones. It's like everyone was obsessed with that show to the point that they would be home Sunday night to watch it. So it's like, or I don't know, what's the big successful movie right now? It's a terrible time, but like, I don't know. Nosferatu. Let's say that's doing really well. It's
Well,
like,
I would say, Wicked,
sorry, Wicked. Thank you. There you go.
and
Wicked.
that's memeable, TikTokable, that's everythingable. And then the press tour doubled down on it.
I honestly have a theory that these marketing campaigns where people go crazy or do something erratic is someone is telling them to do that to get it. Like, have you seen It Ends With Us? No, but you know almost everything about those two people because they're just like, bah, 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 bah. The movie is successful and they're still complaining about it. Yeah,
Fun fact, I don't care about the movie.
Yep.
I know who Blake Lively is, but I've never heard of the other guy.
Yep.
And I don't want to ever again.
Yeah.
I'm just like, go back into your rock, all of you. I am sick of you all. And I'm not watching the movie.
Yeah.
Because I had no interest in it to begin with, but now I have even less interest. Oh, they're so annoying.
Barbenheimer, great idea. All based on social media campaign, I think, right? It was mostly just
it
social
was,
media.
but was it real or was it a plant?
Oh, I think everything is a plant. I think now they're like, I think somebody in a marketing program's like, hey, make them crazy and see what happens. Like, what was the other thing that was? Well, I guess like Wicked being Wicked, or maybe it's all like Ariana Grande ruins that guy's life or like ruins his marriage or whatever it is. I know it's not exactly that way, but like all of a sudden it's like, oh, why don't you guys act crazy on the marketing for this and see what happens? And then a musical is crazy successful. A musical, like that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like also I'm late to it because I didn't notice any of this, but they did they have the Wicked Witch challenge where you do the yell that she does at the end of that song. And I'm like, my daughter does it. She has a way better voice than me already. And she's too, like, I cannot carry a tune, but they had all those things going on. I'm like, these are geniuses. Like, that's how your movie's successful. And then the sing-alongs they had in the theater too, where they had the words on the screen. I didn't even realize they were putting words on the screen. I'm like, brilliant. They knew what they were doing. I don't know what the hell part 2 is about though, bro. I don't know anything about the play or the book or anything. And I watched the first half and I'm like, okay, but now what? I'm just like, I don't know what's I know like there's crazy stuff that happens, but I'm just like, I don't know. I'm still not 100% sure I know what the first half was really about, to be honest, because she's not really wicked. Like, she's never wicked. Is that the point of it? Is that she's not wicked? Yeah. Okay. But she's never wicked. And then like she's wicked, and then she's like, I defy gravity. I'm like, oh, this song's catchy. And then it ends. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Hamilton, by the way, your boy Hamilton, the biggest Broadway show of all time now, I think, officially. The biggest show. Still no movie. Just freaking bizarre.
I don't know. What was I gonna say? I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense anymore. So it's like I think, but going to the idea of fatigue, like maybe I don't know if there's nothing to talk about, because like at the end of the day, especially now when you're watching something, most people aren't rewatching things. You know what I mean?
There's too much to watch.
There's too much to watch. Like my parents just got Paramount Plus, so now we have access to it. So I'm watching old shows from like Comedy Central, and I'm like, wow, I haven't done this in a while. And it's just like there's been enough time that like it's almost like rewatching it or watching it for the first time. So it's like it's always like, oh, what a treat! I can watch old shows. Like Paramount Plus doesn't have a ton of things. There's a couple things I'm like, oh, cool. Like Gladiator 2's on there already. I'm like, wow. I haven't watched
That's on
it.
Paramount Plus. Wow.
Well, again, it's like, oh, there it is. Wow. It's like we're more obsessed with the ability to do it than actually do it. You know what I mean?
Also, the critic score on Gladiator 2 is like the
Yeah.
Rotten Tomato. Honestly, Gladiator 2 falls into the category of Bad Santa 2 for me, where I'm like, there are movies that I'm just content with just having the first one, and I don't need to see. The second one could be great. I'm just, you know what? Don't need to watch the second one. So, because I almost watched Gladiator 2, and then I said, you know what? Saw the first one. It's fine.
Did we need to say any more?
That's it. It's like they all die or he died. I don't. I'm just like, I also thought it was an overrated movie. To be honest, you stupid Rotten Tomatoes score. I'm like, it's fine. The movie's fine, but like, do I need more? I don't think so. I mean, we had the show Rome. That was enough for me. I was like, we're good.
Bro.
Ray Stevenson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I owned the first season on DVD. The second season I didn't enjoy too much. So that was when, like, I don't know if HBO is still like this, but they started to get really hardcore on like the sex. I was like, there's a little much going on here. I'm a G-rated guy. Okay. I'm watching Oliver and Company after this episode of Rome. So if we could just knock that stuff out, I'm good. That's my one problem with HBO shows is there was a time in like the mid 2000s where like just show all the boobs or jeez.
Yeah.
Chill out, man. I'm watching this with my mom. Blind rankings?
Yeah, let's do it.
Before I forget again. Oh, I can't find the graphic. Boom. Okay, last time we did it was Hondo. I forgot to erase this stuff. You had Jod Dunna Wood at number 3 on whatever that was. Oh, it was Pirates.
Yeah.
All right, today we're doing you're going to rank 5 rebels.
Okay.
And you're not going to know who's coming up at all. It's blind. Yeah. I'm giving you the names blindly. You haven't seen this list. And I probably won't be able to. Wait, is it rebels or is that our top 5? Wait.
I don't even have the rundown in front of me.
Sorry, rebels characters. Our top 5 is rebels.
Oh.
You're ranking top 5 rebels characters from the show Rebels.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with Fen Rao.
5. I was like, who'd that?
They're all going to be that. Fen Rao. Mandalorian. Protector.
Oh, right.
Agent Callus.
Ooh. I'm going to put him high. I'm going to number 2. I think he's a character that should be dragged into live action.
The Grand Inquisitor.
I'm gonna be crazy and put him at number 1 because the introduction of that character sets this whole thing of Inquisitors that are now it's like, yeah, give us Inquisitors. It's like it was such an easy way to sort of like have more Sith without making the Sith. So I'm gonna put it at number 1 and just take my chances.
The Seventh Sister.
Oh, number 4. Couldn't even tell you which one that is. Is that Sarah Michelle Gellar?
I hope so. Sarah Michelle Gellar.
That's the Seventh Sister?
The Seventh Sister. I don't know. I made that up. And the last one we're going to go with, let's go with, Zeb.
Oh, all right. Number 3.
Just
number 3. That's fine.
Zeb. Here we go. Is this arguably the most perfect list?
I don't know.
Grand Inquisitor, Agent Callus, Zeb, Seventh Sister. I mean, Zeb and Callus, they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Seventh Sister and Fen Rao. There you go.
Yeah, I love it. That was great.
Okay, put this on get it tattooed across your chest.
Absolutely. Podcast Day, Star Wars Podcast Day 2025.
you see that Pete Davidson's getting rid of like all of his tattoos?
I saw a title about that. I'm like, cool.
I was like, that is a headline. That's
Yeah.
I also just saw the headline as well. I didn't read the article or
Yeah.
watch it, whatever it was. Good for him. All right, odds.
Let's do it.
Possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds. Brought to you, me, and everyone that's listening on this Star Wars podcast day by patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. If you like what we do and we want to support us anyway, why don't you head on over to patreon.com/
Patreon.
Rebel Scum Podcast and give whatever you can. So we can continue to talk about Star Wars Day on February 7th and March 7th. And April 7th, we only do 7. No. And we do this on a weekly basis as to the best of our ability. And we love doing it. So please support us and become one of the people that we talk about every episode, like Heidi Feder, Heidi Feder, executive producer, Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Sooner Thrawn, Randy Kenobi, Mary Kristen Aton, Dale Erdman, Phil Stanaforth, Rez, Scott D, Josh Price,
Matt W, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, Cosmic Girl 02, Gleek Play 1, Den of Nerds, Disney Desi, Charlotte Rompezek, and Jeff Wilson.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for all of your support. It means a lot to us. We hope you're having a great day. Our first Never Tell Me the Odds, Ryan Gosling will be at Star Wars Celebration Japan.
It's funny, like I have a backlog of podcasts I'm slowly going through. I'm finally catching up, and one of the things I haven't listened to is Fat Man
Us.
Beyond, the us. Fat Man Beyond, the Kevin Smith, Greg Bernard. No, I'm totally screwing that up. Sorry, it's a late night. Their podcast about Batman that just basically has become a pop culture podcast, and one of their titles is Ryan Gosling Star Wars, and I'm like, wow, is this that big of a news that those guys are talking about it? Like, it just so I'm gonna go 90% because it's like, why not? Even if he's never in a movie, he's like, do you want to come to Japan and make people freak out?
Well, they just announced Oscar Isaac is going to be there.
Perfect.
Oscar Isaac, you know what he's like? No, we're not doing Moon Knight season 2 yet. No more Star Wars. I need a paycheck. Sign my autograph. I'm gonna go 71%. I don't think they're going to announce Ryan Gosling. I think he's just going to appear a la Daisy Ridley from last 2 years ago, whenever it was.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll get a title.
Yeah.
As I yawn. Maybe it'll be like, hey, Ryan Gosling is starring in Star Wars Episode 27, The Jedi Destructor.
Yeah, perfect.
Star Wars meets Transformers.
Just blue sky it, James. Just blue sky. There's no bad ideas right now.
Blue sky?
Yeah, that's what they say in writers' rooms, where they're just like, just think outside the box.
There are a lot of bad ideas. I know, because I was trying to write a short script today, and there were a lot of bad ideas, Brock.
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
There was more than a lot. There was. Next on, full trailer for Mando and Grogu at Star Wars Celebration. Never tell me the odds. The first trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu will be shown. There was that little teaser snippet thing at D23, but that's nothing. Like, first trailer. It might be for the public after, maybe not. Doesn't matter. Yeah. That's not the point. The point is that they will show a trailer, not a sizzle reel.
Not a teaser. Not a teaser trailer.
Yeah, it could be a teaser, but not a sizzle reel like they did for Rogue One. Like, it's going to be like a legit, like, here's a trailer.
Yeah, that's sizzle reel. I remember that. I'm gonna go 85%. Like, they gotta show something. Like, what is on the horizon for them besides that?
Yeah, Andor will be on its way. You know what's funny is like the sizzle reel for Rogue One was in July at Star Wars Celebration Europe in England.
Yeah.
The movie came out in December. We hadn't had no, that doesn't make sense. Does it make sense? When the hell did that trailer come out? I thought it was July.
Sizzle reel.
Now I might be wrong. The sizzle reel. Did we already have a trailer for Rogue One at that point?
No,
I thought that came out around
I
Easter.
don't think so. I remember watching that and being like, "Cool, look at that."
And we saw the second trailer during Michael Phelps swimming. I have to Google this.
Which would probably be later in.
That was in August.
Yeah, could be.
I don't know when the trailers were, but it was wild though, because now, like, I was thinking about like the Superman trailer that came out in December.
Mm-hmm.
That movie comes out in July, and people are like, we haven't seen a trailer yet. I'm like, it comes out in July, and now we just got Jurassic Park 10 today, and Fantastic Four. Those are in July.
Yeah,
like I thought the same thing last year when I saw the Wicked trailer. I'm like, oh, this must come out soon, November. I'm like, why is this in the Super Bowl? It's February. It comes out in a year, and you're showing me something. We're freaking weird with our trailers because you don't want the trailer for the movie you've never heard of. You want the trailer for the movie you're already going to go see, whether or not. Anyway, it's just weird. Oh, I'm going very high on this. 77.9921.
Wow.
Yeah, and our final odd is from Heidi, executive producer Heidi Fetter. What are the odds we get a reference to the 9 jewels of the Old Republic mint in Andor Season 2?
What was that from again? What are the 9 jewels?
Skeleton Crew. The 9 jewels of them.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm gonna go not very high because I'm like,
yeah, it was Skeleton Crew. I'm gonna go low though, just because it's what's his name, and I don't think he cares. I don't think they're gonna go that deep into that kind of lore.
Yeah, I want it. Like, I think Skeleton Crew should be fleshed out, be it a second season or just throughout other things. But like, yeah, I'm gonna go 30%. I don't know, like it.
That's been my thing with, like, I said this with Last Jedi and Rogue One, where I said this how many times? Yeah, I said this like 3 weeks in a row, where some continuity between these things would be great. Like, Jyn Erso has this kyber crystal, but if you're not obsessed with Star Wars, do you even know what a kyber crystal is going into Rogue One?
Yeah.
Right? So I kind of wish we got that paid off either there or in Last Jedi, at least when the lightsaber breaks, show us the crystal inside. So it'd be really good to have these connect, but I'm going to go 11%. I just don't think they will. I don't think Star Wars is that unified behind the scenes. That's the problem. But they need to. I think they need to they need to connect. And I'm not saying characters, but I'm saying, if Sean Levy has Ryan Gosling, pick up a staff. Maybe that's the staff of somebody in the Old Republic or in the James Mangold movie. You know what I mean? Like, just, I'm using a staff. It's a stupid example, but like just little things like that where you don't need an explanation, but you're like, oh, there's the continuation of something that's going through, and it works. It's like when you watch the Force Awakens and there was like little nods to the original trilogy in it. Not the prequels, because God forbid. But like, when Finn holds the orb, the Jedi training thing. It's like little things that you're like, oh yeah, that thing. We're in the same universe. Like, it's like, just have little things like that. But they're not unified enough for that. So I'm gonna go 11% on that.
Yeah.
It'd be great, but news?
No. No time to look for news. Top 5.
Oscar Isaac at Star Wars Celebration Japan.
Yeah, there you go.
Give him the money. Give him the money.
Please make Moon Knight 2.
Aaron listens to this Sirius radio show.
Mm-hmm.
And Jamie Kennedy is a guest on it every once in a while. And he did a convention in like November. And they never said how much he made, but they referenced that it was like a shit ton. Like, he was like, he's never had one that I'm like, I need to be the Nirvana baby. I think I can get away with that. You think anybody would question me
No.
Top 5 rebels.
Top 5.
Top 5 rebels. I gotta change. Okay, here we go. There we go. Oh wow, I spelled that completely wrong. Saw Gerrera is my number 5. Saw Gerrera.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
My number 5 is gonna be Hera. I'm gonna put a Rebels character in the Rebels because I like that she keeps getting dropped in things here and there. Like, I mean, obviously Ahsoka, but I'm like, yeah,
When she was in Squadrons, a video game, right?
yeah, and she's in the
Yeah.
comics all the time.
She's kind of like a Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the continuity that like, that's what I'm talking about, like things like that.
Yep.
But they need that with like their live action stuff, not video games and comics, because I think the comics probably do a great job of that. But
Yeah.
my number 4 is Sabine Wren. Number 4, Sabine Wren.
Nice. My number 4 is going to be Poe Dameron. Probably should have put him higher, but like, I don't know. I think it's now we've had a little bit more Rebels characters fleshed out, and then we've also got Andor. I think we did a similar top 5 of this at one point, so I'm gonna put them there.
They're repeating themselves. We've done 356.
Yeah. But we have more things, so.
Well, I'm on 2 now, right? No, I'm on 3. I'm on 3. Bail Organa. Nice. Is my Get Jimmy Smits back. He might be in Andor season 2. There you go.
It's like you first fall in love with Star Wars and you hear this name and you never see the character. Like, little did you know, in like 20 years, 30 years, whatever, you're gonna get full fleshed out character with the same guy over and over.
It's wild.
Yeah. My number 3 is going to be Princess Leia.
Nice.
Yeah.
I will say I stayed away from the main Star Wars characters for this one. Yeah, I mean, my top ones obviously would have been whatever, but I decided to go a different route. My number 2 is Admiral Raddus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he needs to be shown some respect.
You know what? I'll put the other side of the coin at my number 2, Admiral Akbar. Boom. It is a trap.
You know what? Of all the things people can get mad at Rian Johnson for, I think his off-screen death is probably the stupidest.
Oh, yeah.
I just like, oh, we lost Admiral Akbar. You're like, did I hear that properly? Can you just take that line out and let him survive? Just take it out. And my number 1 is Jyn Erso.
My number 1's gonna be Cassian Andor. So there you go.
Oh, there you go. I you know what? I was gonna have Andor, but then I was like, nah, screw it. I'll put Raddus on my list.
Oh man.
Yeah, let us know your top 5s in the comments down below or in the live chat, and let us know why Admiral Raddus was your number 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
He probably was everyone's number 1.
He's like dark blue because he's in the cold part of Mon Cala. I'm like, that's fantastic.
Did you know that they wanted that to be Akbar?
Yeah.
And James was like, no, we don't want. It's like, but it's the same story. It makes no sense to me. Yeah. It's like, it's not even close to The Force Awakens. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
But because of that, we got Admiral Raddus. All right, those are our top 5. Let us know in the comments to the side of the sun. Brock, 356 of these things on Star Wars Podcast Day 2025.
Woo.
Anything else you want to say?
Go check out the Fantastic Four trailer. It's pretty sweet. I'm liking it and I'm excited. I think Galactus is a real reach. I'm like, whoa, we're coming out swinging, but looks good.
He should be a cloud. He should be a cloud.
Oh, can you remember that?
I do. I liked the trailer. I didn't love it. You know what I didn't like? I didn't like the talking in it. I was like, I wish you guys didn't talk because they were saying like some corny things.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this about a lot of trailers. I'm like not into the cheese, the corn. But I thought it looked great. I liked Sue Storm's powers when she looked like she looked like a bubble, like when you blow bubbles and it's got like a rainbow around her. I'm like, oh, I like that. I like that. Again, I think Pedro Pascal is going to be good, but I think it's just lazy casting.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's gonna be good. The Thing, I think I like the way he looks.
Looks better.
I
It
like
looks like the comic.
Michael Chiklis looked the best, but in the trench coat, he looked weird. I liked and yeah, John Storm looks great too as well.
My wife was like, "He's too CG." The Thing. I'm like, "It's a rock monster. Of course he's gonna look CG."
Yeah, I don't really know what you do with the
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
thought he looked weird in the fedora.
Hey, we got a live action Herbie. I don't think he was in any
That
of
was
the
the
other
best.
ones. So I'm like,
No.
oh.
Wasn't he just created for the cartoon because they couldn't have the
Yep.
Human Torch? That's why,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Fantastic. Loved seeing Herbie. No, that show was good. I just think some of the voiceover kind of, I was like, in the movie it'll work. Like, I'm not worried about that.
Oh yeah.
I'm not like, again, this is
Yeah.
a movie I'm probably gonna go see. So the trailer means nothing. I really like the Jurassic World 10 commercial trailer.
Oh yeah. I keep meaning to watch that. Is there literally 10 Jurassic Park?
No, I think it's 7.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's freaking a lot though. Like
That's a lot.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one. So I love the Jurassic Park movies, but I hate them at the same time. Like the last 3 were so bad, and like, but I still own them all, and I watch them a lot more than I
Yeah.
should. So this trailer, I'm like, and this one, I don't know if you know the story behind this one, but like, it was supposed to be like the director of John Wick, but he was like, we need script revisions, and Universal was like, no, this is coming out next June or whatever. So he leaves, and then like Gareth Edwards, and Gareth Edwards is known for like he can do effects really quickly and well. Like that's like his niche. So they got him, and I'm like, this is gonna be terrible. And I saw the trailer, and I was like, it's probably really bad, but it looks so good. I'm like, son of a gun, why?
Is it Chris Pratt again, or is it a whole new
No,
guy?
no, it's Scarlett Johansson, and the Dancing Through Life guy from Wicked, and
Oh, okay.
and the Grand Inquisitor from Obi-Wan, and those are like the main 3 characters, and they're like, we found a cure for something, but we have to get it from dinosaurs. I'm like, son of a, I'm in. And then so they're like, but the only way it goes, we have to go to the island, not the main island, because Brock, you don't go there again. They're like, Hammond had another island. I'm like, how many islands does this guy have? So we go to this other island, and they're like, we're going to cure the world with this. And I'm like, okay, I'm still in. And then you see the dinosaurs. I'm like, son of a gun, I'm really in. And then they're like, and then this is what I don't get though. They have dinosaurs, okay? There were a lot of dinosaurs through the 3 periods of the dinosaurs, right? Now they don't care about that anymore. They're like, they were making their own dinosaurs. So I'm like, now it's just monster movies. It's basically just Godzilla at this point. There's like a raptor with 2 heads in like a jar. I'm like, what is happening? But I'm in.
Yeah.
Stupid trailer got me in. It was out of like Superman, Fantastic Four, and Jurassic Park. I think it was my favorite trailer.
Nice.
Don't think it would be my favorite movie though. But I'm like, I don't know. You see a dinosaur yell, I'm like,
yeah.
Anyway, it looks ridiculous, and I don't know if it's probably not gonna be. It's probably gonna be. I don't know. It looks like they combined Jurassic Park 2 and 3 into one, which I don't know if it's the greatest idea ever, but like, I don't know. It started, I'm like, this is gonna be so bad, and then it just hooked me. I was like, I hate you. I was like so pissed off, and it has all of my wife's favorite actors are in it. So I was like, well, she'll want to see it. There's no singing in it. He doesn't. Or he might sing. I don't know. But they didn't show that. They didn't show that in the Wicked trailer either. So I don't know. Maybe. But apparently he's connected to Dr. Grant in some way.
Oh, cool. Makes sense. They're British.
No, he's not in this. No one British is British in this too.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
It's like, just make the British. Just make the British. Anyway, Jurassic Park 10 coming out, I think July, maybe June. I don't know. But if they have blue freaking Doritos, I'm going to buy them again because I'm a sucker for marketing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I brought those into the theater to watch the second Jurassic World, which was... Have you seen the second Jurassic World?
That's the one I have not seen.
That one starts off, you're like, oh, this is good. And then like the middle of the movie happens. And then it becomes a completely different movie in the second half. And it's it's terrible. It's just The first half is good. The second half, you're like, all right. Anything else you want to say?
Nah, that's it.
Fantastic Four, First Steps. Do you know why they're calling it First Steps?
I don't know.
I do have one thing to ask you though. So I heard that this was supposed to take place in the future. It was like the 1960s, but it's like a future 1960s. Like it's 2160 or something, or 2260. Hear me out. I don't know. That's what I heard. But then the director said, well, it takes place in the 60s. I'm like, he didn't say what 60s, but it's clearly the 60s. So do you think that they're going to be, because I also heard that like Reed Richards is like working on some multiverse thing. If you look at eagle eye viewers, I don't know, not me. Do you think they'll go through like a multiverse in it? Or do you think that like, because they have to time jump, right? They have to get to Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, which kind of drives me crazy because it's like this is all because one actor got in trouble and had to be taken away from the cast. Then Kang Dynasty all of a sudden is no longer a thing. It's just like, frick. Because it's like, I mean, Doomsday, you call it that, we're just going to think Doctor Doom immediately, regardless if Robert Downey Jr. comes out dressed up like whoever. Yeah. But yeah, no, my guess is, I mean, probably because there's the multiverse or whatever. But like, my guess is they're active during the 60s, and I'm sure there'll be a reference to like, Hank Pym at some point, as the original Ant-Man. But my guess is they get sucked into some kind of dimension, or like, I'm not even talking about multiverse, because like, why are we even contemplating multiverse? They just get sucked away into a thing in only 10 seconds. It's basically Captain America being frozen in the ice and then defrost. That's what I think it's gonna be.
Yeah,
it's sort of like, how do you explain where they've been?
Well, and the trailer kind of says it kind of sounds like they're going out for a second expedition. The first time they went out, they all got their powers because he says the last time we went out, doesn't he say that? I think he says something like that. Where it's like, last time you didn't do this. Yeah. So it sounds like they're doing something else, which will probably be like that. Well,
like, but you got Galactus and Silver Surfer in it, so I feel like the most of the movie is gonna be about that. Like, I think it would be a better idea is like, first make Fantastic Four a successful movie by itself, then do a couple movies, and then have it that like, here we are, like we are in the normal timeline. But now that we know Dr. Doom, Robert Downey Jr., whatever is a thing, it's like, well, you're gonna but then you're like, even like, I hope there's more Fantastic Four to explain why Dr. Doom is important, because it doesn't look like he's in that movie, but I could be wrong. Like,
no, I heard that like him and Reed Richards won't really know each other, but they kind of will. Like, they're gonna get rid of that aspect of it, which is
yikes.
I know, right? It's anyway. The podcast. We'll just talk about this on our Marvel Scum podcast, which debuts on Marvel Scum Podcast Day 2025.
Sure.
Anyway, that movie comes out. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I really like Sue Storm's power. The rainbow around that thing. I'm just like, there's something about him. Like, that looks cool. All right. Anything else you want to say?
No. We're both wearing food shirts.
Oh yeah, look at that. I did a pizza video right before this, and I didn't feel like changing. Yeah, you know what they say. Pizza day keeps the doctor away.
I don't think that's how it works.
You were always scum.
Rebel Scum!
Scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.